Hi, my name's Koaraki, and I'm gonna be your avatar.
And my name is Matcha. Ah, tits. I don't fucking know. That's what he likes, right?
Go no!
Yeah. So if you cannot,
I am on a Elgato. I'm kind of swag.
he is kind of swag. Yeah. If you guys can't tell from our very iconic quotes, we are covering 0083 Stardust Memory of Mobile Suit Gundam.
Yeah, we're just welcome to Screen Weens, episode 181. Mm-hmm. I'm London. That's Thomas. We're still in our Universal Century phase.
That we are.
Going strong. And yeah, we're going to cover 0083 today. Mm-hmm. I almost watched the recap movie as well. I might do it. It's interesting because I think it could work. I don't think it will but it's weird because I think 2 hours is probably too little time for the story, but I think 13 episodes is maybe too much. Like, they may not need it.
Yeah.
Maybe like a 3-hour movie.
I felt like it was either too short or too long. Like, it needed to either add a little more or take away a little bit.
Yeah. But obviously, we'll talk about that briefly. But as always, we're going to talk about what else we've done this week.
Yes.
I was mentioning to Thomas earlier. It's not Read Weens. I'll talk about it more, when Read Weens time comes. But I read all of Invincible after we covered
like 10 to 15-ish issues more.
Yeah, I was out of work. I needed to go home, and I'm just like, what am I doing laying in bed? I can't really do anything. I'm just going to lay in bed and read Invincible all day. And I did. I would read like 10 issues, and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to take a break. And then I'd read like 10 more issues. Yeah, really not a fan. I think I'm officially an Invincible hater here, which is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm interested. I might read Kirkman's newer superhero stuff. I think it's Firepower. Yeah. Just to see. I'm like, I wonder if he's gotten better.
We can only hope. Because, because he acknowledges that, like, his work is kind of not what he wants it to be. That's why, like, when he does TV series adaptations, he tends to encourage them to, rearrange it and make it work better. But yeah, I'm interested to see how much of that he can do himself. So, yeah. But apparently he was credited for
Renfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't write the screenplay, but I think he wrote like a story draft. Mm. Oh yeah, we both watched Renfield.
Yeah.
Thomas liked it.
I liked it. I didn't love it. I liked it.
That's fair. I didn't like it, but there were parts I definitely enjoyed quite a bit.
I can certainly see why people don't like it. Every time they did a joke, I wanted to punch myself in the face because it was so unfunny. Because it was just like, it was just obnoxious how often they would just throw jokes at you. Like, it was worse than Marvel. Like, they were just quipping as much as they possibly could. And it was like, just honestly ruined a lot of scenes. But I'd say, generally, I thought it was fine. Like,
oh, that's fair.
Yeah. I think taking out the jokes probably would have bumped it up like a letter or a number.
Because it was still like, there were still funny moments where it was just like, just like these characters existing in this universe is funny. Mm-hmm. Like Dracula just kind of walking around being a weirdo is funny.
Yeah, like when
Renfield trying to like hat. Yeah, when he comes in with his big hat, or when we first see him in the abandoned hotel and he's just like, hello.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
He's just like a puppet voiced by Nick Cage. Like, finally.
Yeah, but when it's stuff like, no, President Dracula, it's like, come on, what are you even trying with these jokes? Yeah. It's just like, oh man, but. Yeah, and it did go down like a pretty predictable route and whatnot. I think had this been like a comic and maybe, been written to be a bit more serious, and maybe it was also very on the nose with most of what it wanted to get across, which it's just like, I guess fair. I guess maybe you want to kind of... It's a theme I could see people wanting to have spelt out.
But it also feels like with the theme being spelled out so much, it's like, it almost feels like it's written for babies, but then it's like hyper violent. Like, who are they trying to market this movie towards?
The man babies.
Yeah, the man babies.
Yeah.
Forgot those exist.
Yeah, but yeah, it was okay.
Yeah, I also thought it was okay.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I'll probably buy a Blu-ray copy just because. I mean, Nicolas Cage.
I mean, yeah, he's really good.
And I thought, you know, aside from the comedy parts, I thought Holt was good as well.
Yeah, I thought Holt was great. I think he's a great Renfield.
Yeah.
Man, wish they just remade Dracula.
Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh man, I keep seeing, what's her name? From The Farewell.
Aquafina?
Yeah, I keep seeing her and stuff, and it's like, right, I don't keep seeing her and stuff, but I keep seeing that she's in stuff, and it seems like she's like leaning into these like comedy support roles a lot, which is
like that's how she got her up and up as a comedian. But I was like, she's pretty good as a dramatic actor.
Yeah,
and I just don't think she's very funny. Or maybe it's like
I didn't think she was funny in this.
Yeah,
because the material was kind of like
yeah.
Her comedy bits were just getting angry in this movie. But yeah, having really my primary exposure to her be The Farewell, I was like, I want to see her in more dramatic
What's
stuff.
the guy sleeping next to you?
Yeah, he snored really loud through that third act, and it was really distracting. And I still need to rewatch.
The movie ended, and he started getting up, and he clapped, and he said, "Best sleep I've ever had."
Yeah. This is pretty funny guy. I mean, can you blame him? We were in the theater with recliners. They practically encourage it nowadays. But yeah, it was whatever. It was fine. I enjoyed it enough. And then I rewatched The Evil Dead 2. Classic
Great movie. I think Evil Dead 1 just hit 40 years.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, 2 days ago.
I'm probably going to end up rewatching all of them leading up to
me too. Which is
Rise.
Oh, no, that's Thursday, isn't it?
That is Thursday. I'm probably not going to see it on Thursday, but I'm going to see it relatively.
Because that's out, and Beau is Afraid is out this Thursday, too.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. I might have to go see both of those. Because, yeah, I've heard... I'm not expecting much horror from Beau is Afraid. I've heard just from the general reviews, it's not really a horror. It's more on the comedy side of things, so I'm excited.
It's one of those movies that I keep seeing, it's like, oh, it's pretty good, or the worst reviews ever, and I'm like, that's exciting. That
seems like most of Ari Aster's
stuff. Yeah, and I'm like,
good. Which I have been... I'd say I'm at a 70-30 ratio with his work. Meaning, I watched both of his movies. I'm like, I like this movie about 70%, but there's 30% of me that doesn't like what's going on in the movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his shorts, which I've heard are pretty good, and I like Hereditary quite a bit. At least I've only seen Hereditary the once, and I've only seen Midsommar the once.
I've seen them both twice.
And if I rewatch Midsommar, it's going to be the director's cut. I've just heard it's...
As I watched the director's cut, it adds a little bit of stuff. Mm-hmm. Primarily, I would say it doesn't add a whole lot. In fact, I'd say there was one thing that it added to the movie that... Huh?
Is it bad?
I thought it completely threw off...
okay.
Because light spoilers. It's basically a scene where her character realizes, she's like, oh, you're a shitty boyfriend and I shouldn't be with you here. And then the next 40 minutes of the movie, she still decides kind of buy into her denial with him and stay there. And it's it's an interesting character moment, but I don't know if it quite worked for me. But it does add a dimension, but I don't know. I don't think it was really needed.
Got it.
But there is one other scene where you get a look at one of their other rituals that they do, which was kind of interesting, but it wasn't super long. And it's it really didn't add that much to the movie.
Okay.
At least I felt that way. I'm sure other people would probably disagree. If you're a diehard fan, check it out. I have a friend who's really into the movie.
Well, yeah, when it came out, all of our friends were like, "It's so good!" And I watched it
yeah,
sure.
I thought it was
No,
good.
I liked it.
I just didn't. It didn't blow my mind or anything. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else this week?
I played a little bit of Friday the 13th. I've been getting into that a little bit again, and
Are people still playing that game?
On
7
PC, you can still find some lobbies. The first night I played, I had a great time. Second night I played, I did not. It was a lot of apparently lobby crashing and shit like that. So I was like, oh, fucking wonderful. So it'd be like just a bunch of people who want to play, and one asshole is just landing in every server going, hey guys, watch this, and crashing the host. So it was just like, oh.
Hey guys, watch this.
Yeah. It was just like, oh god. But yeah. Aside from that, it was pretty much my week. That and Gundam. Gundam!
What did I do this week? I had a double feature. I saw Renfield, and then I saw Suzume, which is the new anime film by Makoto Shinkai. He's the guy who did Your Name and Weathering with You, which I'm a fan of both of those quite a bit. I know a lot of people weren't as big of a fan of Weathering with You.
I still haven't seen it.
He definitely doubles down on his kind of rad wimp score. It's like practically a musical at how much he uses music, which I thought was fun.
Yeah,
and I really like it. And he has some interesting characterizations in there that I think a lot of people don't agree with, so they don't like it. I'm like, stop being boring. Characters can have characters can make bad decisions. That's okay. But Suzume's, I think, his best work. I think it's incredible. I sobbed quite a bit. It was. It takes place. It takes place in modern day, but the main character lost her mother during the 2011 tsunami in Japan. So it's heavily relies on past real events, and it's all about how these places that have been abandoned or destroyed kind of still hold memories, whether they're good or bad. And it's gorgeous, because I think most of Shinkai's work's really beautiful. But I think it's also just thematically the most enriching movie to watch of his. I really, really enjoyed it. I definitely want to see it again.
Yeah, because I really liked Your Name. I didn't really but I did like Garden of Words.
I wasn't. That's the only one of his that I haven't really been a fan of. Oh, he made a mecha one pretty early in his career that looks really bad. Didn't really enjoy that one.
And then I bought a couple of his Blu-rays. I think I bought 5 centimeters per second.
So I haven't seen that.
And
I'm like, that's only an hour long.
Wolf Children or whatever. The Children of the Wolf.
He didn't do Wolf Children. That was That was Hosada.
Oh, okay.
I think. Hosoda? Wolf Children. Hosoda, yeah.
Okay.
Suzume. He did Children Who Chase Lost Voices, and he did The Place Promised in Our Early Days. The other one I watched was Voices of a Distant Star. That's the 2002 one.
I have the
it's
Blu-ray
20
for
minutes
that
long.
one too, I believe.
You have Blu-ray for a 20-minute long video?
Yeah, because when I watched Your Name, I was like,
that was banging.
I was like, that was banging, and I want to buy these on Blu-ray, so I just bought a bunch of his movies on Blu-ray. Haven't gotten around to watching them yet. So one of these days. But yeah.
That's fair. Did I watch anything else this week? Of course I did. What did I watch? That's a great question. I watched a movie on the Criterion Channel called The Suspect. It's with Charles Laughton. It's from the 40s. It's about it's kind of it is a noir, but it's kind of framed almost like a romance. Charles Laughton's kind of just this, like a shopkeeper. He's well off and he's well liked in the community, but his wife's just just the worst. And he his son moves out because he's so tired of his mother. And then as soon as his son moves out, he's like, I'm moving into his room. Like, classic. And then he starts, like, pretty much going out with another, like, younger woman. Mm-hmm. And he, like, tells her that, like, my wife won't leave. Like, she won't divorce me. And they're, like, seeing each other. And eventually he just, like, kills his wife. Oh. And it's like, yeah! It's kind of like, you know, kind of good for him. Mm. Because she was pretty wretched.
I see.
But, like, it's... The inspector's after him, and then he ends up, like, killing another guy because he's, like... He's threatening him because he figured out, like, he killed his wife. But also that guy was his neighbor, and he beat his own wife. Like, this guy's not a good dude. Maybe I should just kill him. And he does... and he's pretty much going to get away at the end, but something happens. I think it's pretty interesting. I think it looks great, and I like the performances. It's just kind of weird tonally, because it's like, I'm not sure if this even really wants to be a noir. There's no real mystery or really, like, detective drive from the inspector. He's, like, barely it's just kind of, just a weird tonally film, but it's like an hour and 20 minutes. So it's,
might have just been caught
fun enough.
The style of the time.
Yeah. And then I rewatched Nobody. That was the one from a couple years ago. It's kind of like a John Wick style movie. It has Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
It's from the writer of John Wick 1 through 3. And the director of Hardcore Henry. But it's also shot by the DP of Hereditary and Midsommar. Oh. And you can kind of see it. Mm-hmm. Like, there are a lot of scenes where, like, he's in the shadows and stuff. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. I really like that movie. It's very dumb. It's pretty much like, what if a dad wrote John Wick? It feels like it's the dad rock of action movies.
Oh, okay.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's earnest. It's like, it's really genuine with what it wants to be. It's like, yeah, dad's wrong. It's fun. I had a lot of fun with it. And I think that's all I watched. Oh, me and Hinata started watching Barry because I'm very, very interested in that one with Bill Hader.
Yeah, I've heard pretty good things about that.
Season 4 just started. We watched the whole first season. I was pretty hooked from the beginning. Hinata was like, eh. Yeah. But she was hooked with the last 2 episodes.
You want to hear a fun, not fun story?
Sure. Bill Hader fucked your wife.
I wish. No. Fucking, my old GM at work, he doesn't work, he's not my GM anymore, but one time he was recommending me Barry, and he was like, oh man, sometimes, you know, I just feel like I wish I didn't have, like, morals, that way I could just do that kind of stuff. And it's like, are you okay? Should you be telling me this? Like, what kind of a topic is that to bring up for conversation?
Also,
yeah, because
it seems pretty counterintuitive to what Barry's about.
I haven't watched the show.
It's
so
just he's
a hitman.
He's a hitman that discovers acting, and he wants to be an actor, but he's like still stuck. And it's like it is a comedy, but it's also like even the last 2 episodes of season 1 are pretty heavy hitting. It's a pretty rough film, and he does have ethics and morals, and he actively wants to get away from the life, and that's the dumbest thing I ever heard, and also deeply worrying.
Yes. No, that general manager was pretty concerning all around.
Shout out to that guy. Hope I never meet him.
Yeah, you probably won't.
But wow. And then I've just been reading. I read Invincible. I started reading Strangers in Paradise by Terry Moore, which is my boss's, it's her favorite comic. It is decent so far. I've only read like 100 pages of the first pocket trade, and there's 6 of them, so I'll probably read it all.
Nice. Is it originally published in black and white?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I like it. It was originally comic format, but I actually think this size is awesome for a book.
I agree. I mean, personally, I don't know. I'm kind of in the camp. I'd like the Japanese manga size where it's like this big, but the books are really flexible. So it's like,
yeah. I mean, this one's pretty good.
Yeah, that one looks pretty decent.
Yeah. I was like, should I buy the hardcovers? This is like, absolutely not. This is a great format. All books should be in this format.
Take up way less shelf space.
Yeah. But that's what I did this week.
Yeah.
Let's see if we have questions. I think maybe we'll just never get questions again. Unless you would like to send in questions. And if you do, feel free to leave a comment in the YouTube video or email us at 2weensandascreen@gmail.com. Hey, we got a question for Pierre.
Hey, nice.
Question 1. How are you feeling today?
Oh, a bit tired. My shoulder hurts, but, I'm doing all right.
I'm terrible. Went to the doctor today and they said it's going to be at least another month before I can walk again, which is pretty disheartening, but also or I didn't go today. I went yesterday. But I'm in a boot now, which is in some ways better, but it's also like the swelling is like, it's letting it swell a little more, which is probably good, but it just hurts a lot. And the rain really made it hurt. Like, just the weather. Yeah. Today I had to go home from work because I was like on the verge of tears. I'm like, wow, this is the worst I've ever felt since this injury.
I'm sorry.
It's just, personal stuff, just life's kind of just constantly kicking me right now. But I got Gundam and I got Thomas.
Hey.
And I got Hinata, of course. My rock. Question 2. Massive spider or small lion? Who would you fight? Who would you marry? Ooh.
Wait, hold on. The way that question was posed, so the one I marry, I cannot fight?
Well,
And in which...
I'd marry them both. If I have to choose one or the other, I'm probably... Fuck. That's a tough one.
I mean, I'd probably marry and kill the spider. Or fight the spider.
You'd marry the lion, fight the spider?
No, both the spider.
Well, what if you had to choose?
Well, if I had to choose...
I don't really want to marry an animal.
I don't either. That's why I would marry it first and then quickly fight it. So, but, if I don't kill it, at least maybe that would end up in divorce. But
it's not a sexy spider either. It's just like a regular spider, which are not very fun.
Yeah.
And massive ones, it's like, I don't want to fight it though. I want to run away from the massive. I guess I'd fight it because I don't want it in my home.
Yeah.
What constitutes a fight? Can I just punch it and then run? And then I fought it. It's not in my house. We're good. Small lion. Lions are scary. How small? If it's like the size of a baby lion, I think I could take it.
Yeah.
I think I'd well-placed kick.
Honestly, the small lion would probably be the easiest to fight.
Also, I think lions in general, especially small ones, you can probably reason it with it more than a spider.
Yeah.
You feed it a couple times. You slowly introduce it to the other cats, because it's probably the same size if it's a small lion. It's fine. It's just another cat. I just have a marriage certificate to it. It'll just be like a fun little story. It's like, we got married.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's my final answer.
My only worry would be if I fought the small lion, would it come back and remember me when it's big?
Also, yeah, small, does it mean it's like young? Or does it mean like it's a big lion that shrunk down?
Yeah, because
then I definitely want to marry that, because that sounds really cute.
Yeah.
Like a little chibi lion. Cone from Bleach.
There you go.
And question 3. Is David Lynch a U.S. citizen, and do they pay taxes?
Yes, and I cannot concretely answer that second one. I would hope so, and I would imagine so. David Lynch strikes me as the type of person who would probably pay his taxes.
He probably does. I will say he probably isn't happy about it.
Yeah, I can see him complaining about it, probably.
As much as I love David Lynch, he does have pretty strange politics sometimes.
Well, yeah.
So I could see him hating. I could also see him loving it. I really do feel like it's a flip of the coin with him sometimes.
Yeah, he'd be like, well, on one hand, it funds schools and roads, but it also lines the pockets of the billionaires in this country, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to tell how he'd probably feel how the rest of us feel about it.
Yes to both, probably.
But yeah, I don't think he's rich enough to access many loopholes.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I get his biggest loophole is I assume he owns like multiple cabins in the woods. And he probably just has a big hole in the back of one that he just buries money in.
He probably gets his taxes done at H&R Block and comes in with a black fog and a big bowl of creamed corn and just scares all the tax workers there.
And they're like, "Where's your money?" And he keeps eating his creamed corn. At the bottom, there's a big piece of gold.
Oh,
and he pulls it out and he goes, "Here you go."
I thought you were gonna say a sock full of pennies or something. That
He keeps pulling different things with different types of money.
Here's a lamp. He breaks it and it's just full of coins.
They're like, "Was that a piggy jar?" And he's like, "No, I built the lamp around the coins."
David Lynch would probably do that.
Yeah.
Does arts and crafts in his garage. So,
yeah. As always, Pierre, thank you for the just great questions.
Mm-hmm.
Also, how are you? To everyone, tell us how you are. Trauma dump in the comments below.
Yeah.
We'll read them. I'll respond to every single one. That's not true. Imagine this blowing up in the future. There's 1,000 comments and be like, "My mother died in the morrow." You know what? If I'm alive, maybe it blows up when we're 107.
Maybe.
Cyborgs.
Welcome to Screen Weens 743,569.
That would be it.
Let's start talking about Mobile Suit Gundam 0083 Stardust Memory.
Wait. We didn't watch War in the Pocket?
I mean, we both watched that, so we could talk about that.
Well, I watched it 3 years ago. I barely remember it. No.
Me too. I remember the emotions I felt. I remember the broad strokes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember the general setup and premise of that one.
Really sad. Like most Gundam.
Yes.
Yeah, so Stardust Memory is about 3 years after the 1 year war ends. There is a small kind of group of Zeon loyalists that have been kind of hiding in the shadows. They're like, "We need to come back." Yeah. So they steal one of these prototype Gundams
with a nuke.
And they're like, "We're going to use this for evil. And we're going to, Zeon will rise again," kind of thing. And the group of people that were kind of supposed to be testing these Gundams are in that area on the ship. I can't remember what that ship's called. They always start with A. Alabama. But they need to go in pursuit of this. And then the entire 13 episode arc is they're just kind of in pursuit of this. Mm-hmm. Going on little misadventures. We follow Ko Araki, who is a young test pilot who quickly gets enamored by the main woman that's
Albion,
that's right. The main woman, Nina Purpleton. I thought it was Mina. I thought it was Nina. I'm pretty sure it's Nina. But
Nina.
It goes...
Okay.
I'm like, Mina. It's...
Yeah, I was watching it dubbed. So.
I was too.
Yeah. Which I'm glad I
love
did because
90s dubs.
Richard Epcar as Kelly.
Yeah.
Who's... I'm pretty sure it was Richard Epcar.
It sounded like him.
It sounded a lot like him.
We were watching one of the Origin films, and he's just a random guy. I was like, "That's Zenigata." And then, in the new Bleach dub for the newer series, the guy who voiced Urahara, which is Hat and Clogs, he died a couple years ago, the original dub for him. But he voices him now. And he just does the Zenigata voice.
Yeah, you mean Jigen?
No, I'm thinking of the guy who plays Zenigata in... What's his name?
Oh, yeah. The newer Zenigata guy, right?
Yeah.
He's not newer anymore, but Not the guy who voiced him in part 2, but the guy who voices him in pretty much everything else.
Yeah.
I don't know his name off the top of my head, but yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Richard Epcar is Kelly in this series.
That sounds about right.
I was gonna say, like...
Doug Airholtz, that's what.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna say, I don't see Richard Epcar doing a good hat and claws.
Yeah, but I think I got it confused, because didn't Richard Epcar voice Zenigata in the Fujiko show, or... or one of the...
did.
Like, randomly. Like,
yes.
why is he doing that?
Yes, that's right. He did do Zenigata.
But no, I was thinking of Doug Airholtz.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yes, Jigen, that most certainly was Richard Epcar, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like 90% sure.
And I think Ko's friend might have been voiced by Spencer something. The guy who does the English voice for Shinji.
Yeah, maybe. I know there was a random character on like the main cruiser for the the Earth Federation that was like Uryu's voice from the Bleach stuff.
Oh, really?
Like, huh?
Let me see. See if I can find BTVA. I don't know why it's not popping up on Google, even though I put BTVA.
Chuck Keith is voiced by Randy McPherson.
Oh, okay. It just sounded like him then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think Spike Spencer. Who does Shinji's English voice? Spike Spencer?
Naruto Uzumaki.
It is Spike Spencer. Yeah. And if you're talking about the Netflix dub, I guess it was Casey Mongolo, who just kind of does a Spike Spencer impression. That's the thing about that Netflix dub is like, I'd be okay with new voice actors, but they literally just had every voice actor do an impression of like the old dubs.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is weird. But anyway, back to Gundam.
But yeah, Ko and Mina, I'm gonna double check.
Okay. Purpleton.
Miss Purpleton.
Heck of a last name.
That's a great name, yeah.
Yeah.
Nina Purpleton, yes. Nina. They're kind of like infatuated with each other. This one kind of, this series kind of explores the idea that like, love doesn't just bloom on the battlefield. It like needs to. Like it's this concept where like love will always find a way, and it does so really fast. And that's not like a thing that's just like, oh, kids falling in love. It's like, no, war will just make you go through your emotions much quicker because like your body is like, you will die soon. But they're kind of falling in love, going on dates, doing that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, Anna Velgato, who is the ex-boyfriend of Nina Purpleton.
Yes. That is a reveal that happens.
Yeah.
Probably like in the last couple episodes they mention it, but it doesn't become like really relevant until that final episode. Yeah. Which we will talk about.
Yeah.
But continue discussing the
But yeah, he's just trying to he's really a loyalist and trying to bring out about Zeon. He's not the one in charge, but he really believes in the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's they definitely try to put in this idea. I like the exploration of this one about like what do soldiers do, like because we've kind of seen stuff, you know, many years later, but this is like, even though it's 3 years, it feels directly after these events mostly. And it's like, what do we do? Like, we still believe in this mission, or we don't. And it's like, I think my favorite episodes in this series are the two with Kelly. I think they're 2, maybe 3, but those are really,
I think it's about 2.
Those are really good because he's like a soldier that, you know, he lost his arm fighting for the Zeon, and he's like kind of lost his way of life, and all he wants to do is, you know, serve who he like what he thinks is right, but he can't seem to do it. And then Zeon, this new like Zeon unit, kind of just abandons him there. And he just kind of goes nuts. And he's like, if I kill this Gundam, they'll have to take me back. There's a lot of, you know, really good stuff there. And I like this kind of friendship he briefly makes with Ko in that episode.
And the sick love song that plays during their montage. Which is like, what? But it was endearing.
Yeah. This one's pretty unabashedly 90s.
Yeah, you can tell that Top Gun, like, bled into like this one, which I don't think is a bad thing.
I think it works. I think it's like stylistically different enough. Kind of like the same way I felt that Thunderbolt, at least the first one, was like stylistically different enough while staying kind of true to Gundam, or at least Universal Century.
The animation of this series is, when I was going into Zeta, this is about what I was expecting.
This looks awesome.
Yeah.
But I really like the animation.
With the context, I realized why Zeta doesn't look like that, but this is always what I just imagined the animation for Zeta to look like.
Yeah, I guess, making a 50-episode anime too is probably a struggle.
That, and I mean, it was like the second chance. It wasn't like... I mean, it was a big success in terms of like selling models and stuff, but like... clearly, the first show didn't air to a major success right away. So it was like they were probably like being cautious about it.
Yeah,
we'll be cautious. We'll give you 50 episodes, but
and it's
I'm glad they did.
This is ended. Here's another 50.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, but
yeah, there's. I like this one.
I like this one too. There was a point about halfway through the series where I was like, this might be my favorite of like the supplementary material in between the shows. And then I don't think it managed to hold it all
think
together.
The back half's like much rougher than the first half. I think the first half is like, it has some fun characters. I actually like the characters a lot. I saw a lot of complaints about Ko and Nina and their weird love stuff. And I'm like, this is fine. I don't know how old Ko's supposed to be, but...
19, I believe.
I'm like, it's fine. He's kind of annoying, but...
Yeah.
So are all the characters at the beginning. And I like his struggle to, like... He is responsible for someone's death, or at least he blames himself, and it's his friend, and it's the first time he's lost someone in combat. And he's like... I give up. You know, that's like there's some really good stuff with this character. But yeah, I like Gato quite a bit.
I'd say
at least in the beginning, and Kelly's great. And then after that episode, I do think it just kind of starts dwindling down. I still like it overall, but that first half is like significantly better than the second half for me.
No, I completely agree. I really like the second half in concept. I think the stuff with Purpleton is not great in the second half. Like when, like that episode where it was like, oh, I want to be with you. I was really into that. I thought it was really sweet, and I was like, oh, I kind of like the direction this is going. And then I was like, but we're halfway through the series, so it's probably going to end in tragedy. So I was expecting like more of a typical, like, I was expecting that scene that happened with that other engineer to be like something that happened with like Nina.
Yeah, and it seems like it maybe thematically should have been her. Like, they introduce a character just to kill her off. I'm like, I'm like, this has got it. This most definitely was probably Nina at some point in the writing process.
Yeah, probably. But, I didn't think her plight was developed enough.
I do too.
It just kind of happens, and I realized that, like, probably a lot of people, because I know a lot of people shit on her character, and I can see why, but, it's some of those people who probably shit on her character for the action she's taking, which I agree. Like, obviously, like, the fact that she's willing to let, Delgado? Anna Velgato.
I think.
Okay.
Elgato is a recording device.
Ah, yeah. You know me, I'm terrible with names.
Anna Velgato, yeah.
Yeah, I still think the guy from Zeta Gundam is called Capricorn or whatever. What's his name?
Oh god, now Capricorn's stuck in my head.
Oh, it was Sriracha. Or no, it wasn't Sriracha. It was something close to Sriracha, though.
God, what was his name? Now you're just... I almost had it, and then you said Sriracha.
It's...
Scirocco. What I do is I'll usually start looking up something, and as I Google it, I'll just remember it. Like, oh yeah, Scirocco.
But, Yeah, I thought just her plight with him wasn't. It's like, oh, we dated once.
Yeah, it's like it's like, obviously he's like, no, I was in love, and it's like, I'm still enamored, but it's like, you don't really get that feeling.
No.
You kind of get it in their, like, interaction at the last episode, like, a little bit, but it's like, you had 30 minutes per episode. Like, you had enough time. What are you doing?
Yeah. It's like, I think this could have benefited from either being 2 episodes shorter or 2 episodes longer.
Yeah.
Just primarily for that alone.
Yeah.
And maybe a little more on the Titan formation.
Because that's really cool, too.
That's cool, but it does feel a little brief.
Yeah.
I probably would have liked a little more focus on that, but, you know, I get it.
I like the, like, kind of reveal, and it's like, oh, God, it's the Titan. And I think that's why, like, you know, you could always watch things in just chronological order, but watching, like, Zeta Gundam and then watching this and be like, oh, it's kind of sick.
Yeah, no, completely, because it's just like, you know, it'd be like watching the prequels and getting all those, like, references to, like, Darth Vader, but I guess as a fan who's watching through those prequels for the first time, it could be an interesting twist when it does happen.
Yeah,
but
I think it works either way, but
yeah,
you know,
yeah, and I'd probably say
and I do kind of like that we're kind of just jumping around, you know.
Yeah. What you got to do, primarily because I didn't bother to look up all of the exact order of these shows in between, okay. So it was like, yeah, just kind of going with the flow, watching what I feel like watching next.
That's fair. Yeah, I still really like the second half, but I thought the first half was, like, pretty brilliant. And aesthetically, I love the look of this show. I really like late 80s, early 90s animation. Yeah. It has that same kind of, like, textured quality of, like, the 70s, but they are, like, a little more fluid.
Yeah, the character models tend to be a little sharper.
Yeah. Devastating news, everyone. Our recording crashed. We lost the last, like, 20 minutes of our podcast. So we're going to recreate it word for word. Not really, but Thomas really wants to show you this picture of Shinji Ikari.
It's the Netflix voice act. Oh, is it not?
I'll take it. Okay. This is, let's see. Come on. Focus. There he is. That's the Netflix voice actor for Shinji. He's sitting in the chair.
Maybe.
I think he's sitting in the chair.
I can't tell if he's sitting in the chair or if he's taking this photo, like, next to a bathroom urinal. It's what it looks like.
That's true. The tiling on the ball. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. So anyway, I think we were mostly just talking about how it could have been longer. Like, it's
yes,
or shorter. Like, it's
I don't know if we mentioned. I don't like Nina, how her character wrapped up.
Yeah,
how it didn't.
I think we had mentioned that. Yeah, I would agree with that. And you were saying that you don't like the kind of how the villains of Gundam at this point have been mostly like foils of the main character.
Yeah, I was talking about how I was getting kind of tired of some of the tropes of like stealing the Gundam.
Yeah, and I was like, you're going to be so excited to see Double Zeta.
Yes. And yeah.
Spoiler, that happens in Double Zeta.
What? No way. But, yeah, fucking stuff like that and your rival on the opposing team, which I think is done well in the series up to this point, and I think it's okay here. I liked the build-up, but it didn't really...
I think Annabelle Gato has some good lines, and I think he has some good lines where he's talking about, like, his fallen comrades and stuff. Mm-hmm. I really don't like the overarching villain, though. Like, the lady who's like, I tricked you! I'm like, she's like... it really feels like there's nothing there.
Yeah.
I do like her death, where she, like, explodes.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty good. Also, I don't know if we mentioned this before the recording went off.
We're good.
I completely forgot what I was going to say. Oh, no.
The ball!
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I lost it again. This is what ADHD does to your brain, people. I don't know if we caught this before we cut out or not, but we were talking about how at one point it seemed like Nina was intended for the sacrificial role.
Yeah.
Where the one engineer like is trying to encourage
Steal.
Yeah, him to steal the Gundam again. Which if it had happened here, it's like, all right, it would have made more sense. It makes sense in the beginning too. It's like an urgent situation. It's like, I gotta get in it and do it. Kind of like, I don't know the original series, but yeah. So that was one point where it's like, maybe it should have been Nina there, because the way her arc wraps up is just kind of like not fleshed out enough. Yeah. So it was just like,
But, I think the ending wraps it up in like a decent way, and I kind of like this subversion where like, all the main characters are mostly alive. And not necessarily well, but there's a chance for them. Mm-hmm. And Kowaraki's not been in anything else, so maybe he just went and lived a happy life. One of these fuckers deserves to live a happy life, and if it's gotta be Kowaraki, I'll take it. Yeah. Because, no one else is living a happy life. No. Except for Haro, maybe?
I mean, Haro might be dead based off of the context we get in Zeta. Yeah. It's like, what the fuck happened to the original Haro? Maybe that is the original Haro. He was just left on that dumpster colony.
I dropped him out the window by accident.
Oh, no. Oops. But I can't imagine why anyone would want to kick that little thing out of there.
He's great. He's like, Amuro!
Yeah, he just follows you around and says your name and gets in your way.
That's what my cat does.
That is true.
I assume that's what they're meowing about. They're going, London!
But, yeah.
But, I think there are enough interesting characters that this could have been fleshed out to a longer show, like 25 to 50 episodes. I would have been kind of fine with. As it stands, I still think it's... I really liked Universal Century stuff. Like, there's been, like, 2 things I haven't really liked. I really enjoyed this one. I probably put it... I don't think I enjoyed it as much as any of the Origin movies, but I probably liked it more than maybe the recap movies of the first 2, at least. Of the original. Because, like, that's just kind of like lesser Gundam, and it's like, at the end of the day, I'm like, this is a cool new idea. Yeah. And it looks great. I really like...
even though I technically haven't seen the original series all the way through, I don't really count the recap movies as like...
3 at least. 3 adds a little bit at the end. I think that's what we talked about when we talked about
I know that they added like some animation stuff. I didn't realize they added content though.
I'm pretty sure. Let's go to my Letterboxd review of it.
Okay.
Mobile Suit Gundam 3 Encounters in Space.
But
yeah, I think it's just extra moments of animation in the battles, but I think there's a decent chunk of them, so it does
Yeah, because I know that they like add more detail.
None of them are as good as the show.
Cassilia's head getting exploded and shit like that.
That's good.
Yeah. I think they reanimated the scene where, not Ra's al Ghul, Rambaral.
Where Ra's al Ghul is like on the train. He's like, "You won't kill me," and he's like, "I won't save you either."
Jumps into the Batmech's hand.
He's like, "See ya."
Yeah. Yeah, I think they reanimated the scene where Rambaral jumps and commits suicide or whatever he does. It's been a while.
I should rewatch those. I was like, maybe I should rewatch the original series, but it is 50 episodes.
Yeah.
And that does take a bit of time.
Yeah, I think we'll probably wrap up whatever era we're doing, and then I think I might, like a few years down the road, do like a big Gundam rewatch where I watch everything in chronological order.
I have a feeling once we finish all of UC stuff, what if I'm just like, not going to watch anything else? I probably will watch other stuff, but But UC, I have a feeling, I'm just afraid I'm going to watch something that's not Universal Century. I'm going to be like, oh, brother, this guy stinks!
It's definitely going to be my knee-jerk reaction, but I just have to get past that and find
Where's
the good.
Amuro?
Yeah.
Even though Amuro's not in this. Or Double Zeta.
Wait, you mean this doesn't take place in the same continuity? No!
You mean I can't imagine Char somewhere, like, twerking or dancing?
Right. When we got the one cameo from...
The Titan guy?
Not the Titan guy. Purple-haired girl. One of the main antagonists of Zeta. I can't think of her name.
Yeah.
Gabba Gabba Goo Goo. That's not her name.
Oh, God. What is her name?
Hum Num.
Karen. No, you're... Hamon. Hamon.
Yeah.
Hamon.
Yeah.
Hum nom nom. You can just say things and I'll eventually get it. Yeah, that was fun. I do. Yeah, there are enough in here, but like if we had gotten that longer series, I think you could have had a couple more. Like, boop, 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 boop. This is what's going to lead into this.
I was like, are we going to get a scene of like Char in the background
Baby
playing
Camille?
with, yeah.
10-year-old Camille or whatever.
Oh no, I was going to say the one Zabi that's still alive.
Oh,
I can't think of her name, but
Margaret. No, it's something like that though.
yeah, but I don't know. I almost half expected to see like Char like just in the background, like chatting it up with her or something. But I guess that wouldn't have probably made sense at this point in the timeline because I don't know where. I'm sure Char would probably be doubling down as Lieutenant Quattro in his humble beginnings around this point. Probably.
Yeah, he's got cool glasses. Yeah, probably. But yeah, I like the show quite a bit.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be hankering to rewatch it. I might watch that recap movie because I'd be interested to see, like I said, how they restructure things. But
don't they newly animate it?
I don't think this one they newly. It's kind of like
I know on my disc it had like a crisp new animation on it, but I don't know if that was just like a movie poster.
I know they did do a cool movie poster. It came out like the next year, so I don't think they.
Yeah, because I mean it looks good. Like I'd honestly probably prefer the old art style over whatever they would have done new anyway. Because it's that slick 90s, 80s animation that's real sharp, real nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd give this a 7. It's good. Really good. Thomas liked it.
I did.
First half's much better, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wholeheartedly agree.
All right, Thomas. What are we watching next week?
We're going to watch the 8th MS Team.
What? What you say? Oh, that you only met. Cool. We're gonna watch the 8th MS Team. We're going through Universal Century. We're keeping the ball rolling. We're gonna watch everything. Maybe not everything, because there is, there's
quite a bit.
There's Double Zeta, which is a pretty big series, and then of course there's V Gundam, which I think is the longest Gundam series.
How long is Unicorn?
Unicorn's just it's pretty much the same length as the Origin movies. They're all like...
Oh, okay.
Or I think there's 7 of them, but they're all like an hour each, I think.
Okay.
That's not too bad. I'd be fine watching that.
Darn, I was kind of hoping it was going to be another 50-episode series.
V Gundam, I think, is like 75 episodes, though.
Yeah, but...
Victory Gundam? V Gundam?
But that one, I don't think has Char in it, so...
Well, yeah, he'd be dead for like 50 years, probably, or he'd be like 90... maybe.
Maybe they should...
He could probably survive. Actually, that'd be great. He's like, hey, you. Hello, little boy. Did you know that I used to pilot a Gundam? And I had 4 different names. Some would call me Edouard. Some would call me Casval. Some would call me Char. Some would call me Quattro. Some would call me Full Frontal.
He does have a lot.
That's what one of his names is.
Full Frontal.
Full Frontal.
Sexy.
That might be his worst name.
That might be his best name.
Well, yeah, that comes with it. I wonder, because that's like so far removed. I'm like, is anyone related to anyone?
I mean, I don't necessarily need that. I mean, I'd like to at least feel ripples from the old series. Like, it'd be interesting to see like what UC is like about 100 years down the line, or roughly however many it is, like, I guess it's not that far down the line.
Mobile Suit V Gundam.
Or maybe that one is.
From 93. Oh, it's only 51 episodes. I was wrong.
Okay. But, I don't know.
That is still the longest, I think. By one episode.
Yeah. Well, they should do a new 50-episode Gundam series that just, I don't know, takes place around the point of the rest of them, because I just want more. Maybe one that takes place after Unicorn or something. I don't know. Whatever. There's a lot of Gundam I haven't watched yet. Maybe I won't feel that way after I watch 4 more series where a kid steals a Gundam at the very beginning.
Guys, I got a great idea that no one's ever thought of. What if I go up to that giant robot and I steal it? Unlimited power!
Yeah, then I become a war hero.
What the fuck? I have some sort of weird type of powers. This is a new type of power.
What? Yeah.
Someone call me a new type.
Yeah, what
I
happens?
should voice a...
Do new types just eventually get, like, nerfed into old types? Like, what are they...
New types. Mega new types. Super new.
Oh my god, it's an ultra type!
I assume at the end of V Gundam they just destroy the universe or some shit.
Just everyone's a new type.
Maybe.
And then become common types. But yeah.
But yeah, we did it. And we'll see you next time for another epic episode of Screen Weens. Do 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 do.